So live on a Football Friday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. I am merely Bo. You will hear from the great Z momentarily across the pond in London. Of course, it is the Browns. It is the Vikings. It is 9:30 Sunday morning in London town. It is the debut of Dillon Gabriel, his first start in the NFL after 60-plus starts in a storied college career. You will get your look at him on Sunday morning in London, and we will get you set for that game as only we can. Z goes one-on-one with running back coach Duce Staley coming up in about 15 minutes from now. How are those young backs who are going to be relied upon and leaned upon bigly on Sunday going to respond against a very good Vikings defense? Speaking of Dillon Gabriel, he met with the media today over in London. You will hear what he had to say on the brink of making his first start in the National Football League. At 4 o'clock, we go behind enemy lines with Matthew Collar. He is an insider with the Vikings at Purple Insider, and everything else you've come to know and love about a Football Friday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. Get your over-unders, your scores, your keys to victory. It is all ahead of you. Right now, though, let's head to London, where Z and Andrew Siciliano are standing by.
Thanks, Bo. Great.
You're down.
From across the pond with my good friend Andrew Siciliano.
You can find 5 pounds.
That's right. And Andrew, practice today. Little bit of rain. The full
Not
London
that bad.
experience. No,
Not
a
that
nice
bad.
mist. We'll call it a mist out there as the Browns got today, a typical, normal Friday practice getting ready for this game with the Minnesota Vikings. Seems like everybody's having a good time out here and good day of work out there.
Yeah, good day of work. And then after that day of work, the guys have a little bit of time to get into the city today. I was talking to Mason Graham. He said he and a bunch of D linemen are going to go into town. I said, what are you going to do? He's like, I don't know. It was kind of like the little kid to see what the big kids take me to see. And I said, you want to see like Big Ben, Parliament, the London Eye, all that? He's like, I want to see Big Ben. I said, are you going to do one of the corny pictures where like you're holding your hand up or your finger on top? He's like, yeah, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, they're going to get some free time today, so that's kind of cool. But Kevin told them still a business trip, very much a business trip as it is. And today was a normal Friday, I think. Yep. Everyone, whether it was Mason or Dillon Gabriel or Miles, everyone kind of had the same message. This felt like a normal Friday, just in the middle of the English countryside in the rain.
And from an injury standpoint, this is a Browns team that it feels like is getting a little healthier. Greg Newsome and Jack Conklin both listed as questionable. I think there's a lot of optimism, not only that Greg will continue to play, but that Jack Conklin could return to the lineup this week, which I think would be huge. It
would be massive, especially considering right tackle, left-handed quarterback. That's massive. Joel said yesterday that he has never, as far as he can remember, even going back to high school, ever played with a left-handed quarterback.
Yep.
I mean, there are legitimate questions about what a left-handed offense looks here. With Dillon Gabriel, and to have your right tackle, or let's just say one of your better offensive linemen that you've been relying on badly.
Two-time first-team All-Pro is what Jack Conklin is.
To have him out there would be huge.
On the other side of things, Vikings not nearly as healthy for the Browns. They have already ruled out
this list.
Tackle Donovan Jackson, center Ryan Kelly, backup center Michael Juergens, quarterback J.J. McCarthy, right tackle and former Pro Bowler Brian O'Neill, and Andrew Van Ginkel. So this is an offensive line now that is down 4 of their top offensive linemen. And this is a game where the Browns' defensive line, you feel like, has got to feast, has got to dominate. And now we know they're going to start somebody at center, my guess is, who has probably not played center.
They've been basically taking auditions, tryouts for center this week on the road with practice squad guys.
Yeah.
And they brought the practice squad as the Browns did, and they're taking auditions here.
And it's
for
not
center.
They're going to be able to just get us. Now they could fly somebody here, I suppose, if they wanted to sign somebody to 53, but that's going to be tough with no practice.
Yeah,
not going to happen.
That horse has left.
That ship has sailed. The train has left the station.
Yes, it has. We had a good time on the train last night. It should be noted as well, Miles says he is good to go. Yep. Obviously, there was an issue with him this week. He practiced today, and he said that there was never a doubt he was going to play, and he said on the podium that they would have to kill him to keep him out of this game. His words.
Well, one person that a lot of the guys on this team are excited to see, including Myles Garrett, is quarterback Dillon Gabriel. Myles said earlier today he runs the offense like it's his offense. That's all you can ask for. I'm looking forward to him doing the same on Sunday. You hear a lot of things: competitive, prepared, they're excited to see Dylan Gabriel mobile, and hopefully that will help after what we've seen over the first 4 weeks. And again, this was not all Joe Flacco's fault. It's just in the National Football League. That's the easiest switch to make to try to jumpstart this offense, and so Dylan's going to get that opportunity. Now his parents will not be in attendance. Dylan's saying his dad, fun fact, said his dad needs to get a passport.
Fun fact, Dad doesn't have a passport. He said short notice, first of all, obviously finding out Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it was, that it was going to be a short notice to try to get international airfare on 2 days' notice. Ain't cheap. And so they decided against it, and then he threw in, fun fact, Dad doesn't have a passport. Also, fun fact, 11-hour time difference to Hawaii. So this game will kick at 3:30 in the morning local for his family. He said that they're kind of used to it when he played at UCF.
Yep.
But this is an additional 5 hours beyond that. And so this game will, he said, because someone asked him, what's the time difference? He goes, I haven't even really thought about that. And then someone did the math and said, okay, it's 11. So it's going to be 3:30 in the morning for his family to watch this game.
And that is a lot of dedication. We did not see that time, even though we were 5 hours ahead. We were able to.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you may have seen 3:30 in the morning as your
Today
sleep was interrupted. After
so we had a great meal last night.
Great.
Bo, wish you were there.
Yes.
And not like crazy party, just a great meal with the Hoff.
And the greatest
Yeah.
pint of Guinness in London.
We had a great pint of Guinness before at the Devonshire in Soho before the meal. Anyway, great meal. We made it back, you and I. Adventure getting an Uber all the way out here to the sticks, but we did it. And then, yes, I had one of those wake up at 3 in the morning, as we all have in a hotel room, try to find your way to the bathroom. And then when you get back in bed, I can't sleep because you ordered. So I was trying to describe it earlier today. It was delicious. We all
ordered.
It
was a team effort.
You know when Fred Flintstone has the giant brontosaurus thing dropped on top of his car? That's the size of the rib. The beef rib that we ordered for the table last night. So I was in a food coma, and like that weird jet-lagged food coma panic mode that I'm not going to sleep for the next 4 days. And then I'm getting texts about the Taylor Swift album, and then I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't want to answer them because you want to put the. I didn't sleep. Yes, you did, and I hate you for it.
I know you do. Yeah, I was jet-lagged. Basically, I didn't sleep on the plane. I'd basically been up at that.
And
point
I did sleep on the plane, so that was
for
all right.
a great many hours. And all of a sudden, I roll over, look at my phone, and it's at 11:50, and I was like,
and you have the curtains pulled, so you have no concept what 11:50 it is.
I thought it was in play that it was 11:50 at night because I looked at my phone and I had 80 text messages. So I'm like, I'm surprised they haven't broken down my door in here. But then it turned out to be 11:50 a.m. and we were all good. We went about our business. One thing that I've noticed, and obviously for you and I and the Hoff, when you are on these trips, it's a great opportunity to hang out and to bond. And you talked about the teams going in tonight, but just watching the guys right now sitting there eating the meals. And this is kind of, and it's nice, it's not the full week in LA. That was a long time. But this is kind of another opportunity for this team, and what I think is a real critical point, because if you look at the schedule, this is where if the Browns are going to make a move, I believe it starts Sunday.
It has to. Yeah.
It has to. So I kind of like that they're together. You saw a real intensity, I thought, in the practice today. And maybe this bonding, this is something can unify. Dylan Gabriel goes out and plays well. I really think our defense has a chance to completely neutralize the offense of the Minnesota Vikings, that maybe this will be kind of a turning point here at the Grove in London.
I was thinking about that because some of the guys were asked about it today on the podium, and I was flashing back to Carolina or Philadelphia for those joint practices. Similar, but that's 90. That's training camp. Now, this group is still big. It's 70 if you include practice squad. It is a big group here, but I do think, and a couple of guys did say, yes, it has been that kind of experience so far. When I don't know if you remember this, when we landed and we landed at a smaller airport, not to give away all the logistics here, but when we finally made it through immigration, they were great and efficient and took care of us. The players were all hanging in that little lounge area before we got on the bus, and that it hit me then at that point, I don't know, bonding, but everyone's kind of waking up. Hey, did you sleep? Did you sleep? You're getting some orange juice, some coffee. You could kind of see it there.
Yeah, because you're taken away from your normal lives.
Yeah.
And basically you're all in this together, and you're all together, the whole time. And hopefully that this will be, because it starts with one. You've got to go take care of business Sunday. Then you get a Steelers team that I haven't seen us win there other than the 2020 wild card.
And Renegade's overrated again.
Overrated,
Overrated. So it's not even
anybody
a good song.
who's listening to this right now.
It's not a good song.
Do yourself a favor. Well, you're getting some of it. Don't give away all your secrets.
I did this last year.
At the beginning of the fourth quarter, when they play Renegade, just listen to the radio broadcast.
Well, that was the problem last year. They didn't play it until like a couple of minutes into the fourth quarter. So I'd never been in all my years at NFL Network. I'd gone to multiple training camps at Latrobe. I had done shows at Heinz Field. I'd never actually been to a Steelers game, believe it or not.
Okay.
After all these years.
Yeah.
Which, I actually took as a privilege to never have to go there.
Yeah.
But I'd heard about the whole Renegade thing, and I'm looking ahead to week 6 already here, getting the material out. And they played the song, and I looked around at you guys. I'm like, that's it? That's the song? It's not even a good song.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's pretty good. They get then they time it up with the highlights, and sometimes they are able to splice in first half. It's well.
Oh, look,
done.
here's TJ
towels.
Watt getting chipped and falling down in the snow. They can put that one in there?
All right, listen, we don't need to give them any more. That's
This
a
is
week
not
away.
bulletin board material.
This is a week away.
I am just
Let's
random
relax.
podcaster, okay? That's all I am.
You are the voice of the Browns.
I'm a random podcaster.
You're the voice of the
games on
the
Sunday.
voice of the Browns.
Okay.
All right, well, that'll do it for us here in jolly old England. Bo, back to you.
I mean, I didn't know that if you get to London, you get partisan Siciliano. I mean, it's full Steelers heel turn. I'm for this Siciliano. I love that, G-man. Give me all of the partisan Siciliano that I can handle. That was great stuff there from the fellas. We'll check back in with Nathan here in just a second. Those are your hot topics today, presented by University Hospitals, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. Additionally, Barking Backers, the official dog fan club of your Cleveland Browns, is back for the 2025 season. Get your pup on the action, exclusive gear, events, and more. Memberships available now. Fetch yours today or gift a membership to a furry friend at barkingbackers.com. Barking Backers is presented by Milkbone in an association with Embrace Pet Insurance and Pet Supplies Plus. Z goes one-on-one with running back coach Duce Staley coming up next. We're off and running on a Football Friday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. As always, we are presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet, an official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Very happy now to be joined by the running backs coach of your Cleveland Browns, Duce Staley. Coach, thank you so much for being with us here today. 4 games into the season, how you feel about what you've seen from the guys in your room?
They're working hard, all of them, and they're working together. They come in each and every week, rip, roaring, and ready. So that's the exciting part about it, and they're learning. And I'm learning about them. So that's exciting. They're exciting. And, being able to continue to develop them is definitely important. And that's what I'm doing now.
You played at a high level in this league. For Quinshon Judkins to be gone basically since June and to be able to come in and basically be a full-time back within 2 weeks of coming back, how impressed by that are you? And what does that say about the shape he kept himself in and the commitment he had to be ready to hit the ground running?
That says a lot about his character. I'm super impressed. Just being able to walk off the street. And if you go back to the game where he started, he only had 1 practice that week.
Yeah.
So being able to jump right into practice, being able to pick up where he left off at. Now, you got to remember, Q is a smart kid. So while he was gone, he was still studying OTA film, training camp, looking at training camp film. He's looking at everything.
Yeah.
So he wasn't going to be left behind. On top of that, he was continuing to train.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was in the game against Baltimore, which was his first game, the one where he kind of jump cut it and then outran Marlon Humphrey. I'm like, okay, he's ready to go. When you see that as a coach, are you like, all right? I'm
excited. I'm already walking up and down the sideline.
Yeah.
I'm screaming, get out of the huddle. But when I saw that, I was like, woo. Okay, this is what I've been looking for.
Yeah, and every week it's ramped up, right? 2 weeks ago, it was the 90 yards rushing and the touchdown against the Packers. Last week against the Lions goes over 100 total yards and really is he's in there full game. How have you seen him? Obviously, we've seen him hit the big runs, 3 over 30 yards, but also now in the passing game, feels like his role's picking up there as well.
Yeah, so it tells you about his preparation.
Yep.
And you just can't put him in a box as a first and second down player.
Yeah.
A lot of times, in this league, you are put in a box as a running back. Are you a 3-down guy? Or are you a first and second down guy? Q can play all 3 downs. And you'll see as his protection picks up and as we put him in those roles.
Yeah, I mean, he had the one where he got Micah Parsons pretty good. That's got to be – does that get a lot of rewatches in the film room?
Well, that's something we talk about. We talk about being able to help our tackles. We talk about chipping. We talk about running our routes and making sure we don't see any color. He saw color, and he was able to chip, and he did it.
Oh, yeah, and then we saw Jerome Ford do one as well this week. I think
right, Jerome had a couple.
Yeah, he had a couple.
And, we talk about it, so that's one of the things we address. Anytime we can slow some of these werewolves, as I call them, down, and a werewolf is a defensive end that can wreck a game.
Yep.
And we face one each week now. Anytime we can help our tackles, help our line, and slow some of these guys down, we will.
When you look at your room and now Quinshon kind of really becoming the main guy, you've got Jerome Ford in there, Dylan Sampson as well, who both played big roles early in the season. How are they dealing with maybe that change in their role and making the most of the opportunities when they do get them?
Well, the first thing is you got to remind them that they're a pro. And being a pro is a lot of responsibilities come with that, and also everybody's looking.
Yep.
So we root for everybody in the room. So I'm rooting for them, they're rooting for me, and they root for each other. So when you go into the room and understand the love that you have for each other,
yep, and
understand the role may not be the role you like,
right,
but it's your job, and they understand that, so that's how we attack it.
Is that one of the things that's hard? Like, take a guy like Dylan, right? Dylan's the SEC Offensive Player of the Year. He was the main focus of his team's offense. And then, early in the season when he needs to play more, comes out 8 catches, I think, in the opening week. And then it gets scaled down as things change. And he's such a positive kid. How's he dealing with that? Because that's got to be the hardest thing about coming to this level, is going from being the guy, and now it's like, all right, you might get a couple snaps, but you're going to have to do some things on special teams to help this football team.
Yeah, and on this level, things are forever changing.
Yeah.
The game plan changes. So 1 week, you never know. Like the first week, of course, we were able to get out there. Dylan was able to catch a bunch of balls, had a couple of runs there, and he was productive.
Yep.
The next week, of course, Q came in, and he's been rolling since. So you never know, 5 or 6 games, 7 games down the road, we may go back to Dylan.
Yep.
So it changes. You just got to be ready when your number's called.
Yeah, and that's something I would imagine, given your experience, that you can really relate to them? That's got to be very helpful to have somebody who's actually, you've lived it, right?
Well, I've been a part of the three-headed monster in Philly.
Yep.
Myself, Westbrook, and Carrell Buckholzer. So it's similar to what's going on now.
When you make a switch like the Browns have done now, Dylan Gabriel now will be the starting quarterback. How can your room, which is young in its own right, how can you guys help a rookie quarterback?
Well, doing your job, practicing hard, staying after, catching some of his passes, doing what you got to do to be productive and help this offense be successful. I mean, aren't you excited for the kid? This is exciting times. I'm excited for him. I remember my first start. And, you're always going to remember that first time you get a chance to go out there and start in the NFL. So I'm excited for the kid. We're excited as an organization. Let's just see where it goes.
Mitch, is exciting when you speak out the youth. Harold Fannin has been our leading receiver for a while. Isaiah Bond is the leading receiver last game. Quinshon is the leading rusher. Now we're going to have a rookie quarterback. You've got a lot of young guys it's almost a massive recruiting class, right, that are going to go in this together and have a chance now to kind of grow together.
Yeah, and just look at all the rookies and how they're contributing. All right, that's a big plus to AB in the draft process.
Yep.
Being able to bring these guys in right now, and they going out there in OTAs, and you saw flashes from OTAs to training camp of what these guys can do.
Yep.
So now they're out there between the lines when it's real, and they're doing it.
It's awesome, and it's on both sides of the ball, which has been great. And I think it speaks, like you mentioned earlier, with Quinshon. But Isaiah Bond came in very much at the end, and for those guys to be able to ramp up and play at this level.
Are you trying to say it's something to not coming to camp and maybe come?
I'm not saying
Are you
that.
trying to say that?
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying they must have great position coaches. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah. All right, what do you think about these London games?
Well, this is my second one. I had
Okay.
a chance to go in 2018. We played the Jacksonville Jaguars when I was in Philadelphia, and we won. I think it's great for the NFL.
Sure.
I think it's awesome for the NFL to be able to have that exposure, to have worldwide fans, of course. And it's good for these guys to have that type of trip and being able to see the other side of the pond, as they say, and see, fans from everywhere. And they're going to see a bunch of different jerseys in there now.
There's all 32, I would guess. All
they're going
32.
to see that. But just enjoy it, man.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it and be thankful that you have an opportunity like this.
Did you feel like when you went with Philly in 2018 that there was you can bond, right? This is kind of another in-season almost mini getaway where you're all under the same roof, you're all together all the time, and that can hopefully help, where we're at kind of a pivotal point in this season. We have an opportunity to get hot here and get right back into the mix. Do you think is that something you felt from that time?
I wasn't really worried about that. I'm just worried about us doing our job.
Sure.
And, of course, coming along is some of that, what you just talked about bonding. You got the long flight. Of course, you'll be in a hotel forever and the practices on a foreign land. So, of course, some of that will happen. Be some dinners. There'll be some of those things. But, let's make sure the main thing is the main thing. And that's
right.
Going over there to win.
How would you rate your intensity as a coach on the sideline to your intensity when you played the game? Because I'm pretty sure there was a play in the game against Detroit. I think Quinshon had a good run where I could hear you. I'm all the way on the other side of the stadium up top, and I have headphones on because I'm doing the radio, and I knew I could hear you. And I was like, I love it. I love how fired up you get.
I'm excited by having the opportunity to live vicariously through these players.
100%.
It makes me feel so good that I'm able to be a part of this great game that I once played. Now I get a chance to direct and coach. So just that feeling alone. And I tell them all the time, when you score, I score. When you miss the block, I missed it too. So you know why I'm super mad, So I'm just excited. That's just the energy I bring, and I expect for the players to have the same.
Do you think this offense is close to being where we want it to be?
Without a doubt, it's close. And we got to continue to push forward. And they're going to be, of course, potholes along the way. They're going to be hiccups. They're going to be stuff that, you don't understand, but you got to continue to push forward and figure it out. And that's where we are now.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, Coach. Thank you for the time.
No
Love
problem.
talking to you.
Thanks
Love
for
the
having me.
intensity, and let's go get a win in London.
Let's do it.
Feels like Duce's guys are going to be leaned on pretty heavily this Sunday over in London. Of course, that will start with Quinshon Judkins. Did you know that in yards per game, statistically, Quinshon Judkins, fifth in the National Football League, averaging just under 80 at 79 yards a clip. Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, Travis Etienne, J.K. Dobbins, then Quinshon Judkins. So a steady diet of Quinshon Judkins. One other thing to pay attention to and keep your eye on for Sunday, whether it is Jerome Ford or Dylan Sampson, running backs out of the backfield. One thing that Minnesota is going to do to the young quarterback, Dylan Gabriel. They're going to come after him. They're going to try to get in his face. My hunch is you'll see Kevin Stefanski, Tommy Rees make sure that Gabriel has answers to get the ball out quickly. That'll be the tight ends. That very likely will be running backs as well. So that could be something to watch for when we get into the game on Sunday morning here locally as well. Hey, Cleveland, don't miss the brand new Doghouse by NGM Insurance. Play Madden, snap photos with Chomps and Brownie the Elf, and get ready to kick off. Come early to Dog Pound Drive. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM, proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Coming up next, he is the man of the hour, the rookie quarterback making his debut in London on Sunday. He is Dylan Gabriel. You'll hear from him from the podium earlier today over in London. That is coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We are presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. there, but it's obviously very, very difficult and tough sledding for Cam Ward so far in his rookie year. Jackson Dart made his debut last week in a Giants win over the Chargers. He goes 13 of 20, 111, a touchdown, and then he ran for 54 yards on that one. If you're curious about last year's quarterback class, remember, Ward and Dart, both first-round picks, Gabriel a third. Last year, 4 rookies started their careers as rookies last year. Bo Nix started right away. He went 26 of 42, 138, and two interceptions in that game in his debut. Jaden Daniels, dual threat, of course, 184 through the air, 88 and 2 touchdowns on the ground for Jaden Daniels. Drake May, his came later into the season, but he was 20 of 33 rather, 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the 2 picks. And then Michael Penix Jr., his start came much into his rookie year, 18 of 27, 202, and an interception. When you do the comps for Dylan, the names that most often came about in the draft process were Brock Purdy and Tua Tagovailoa. So let's take a look at what those guys did in their rookie debuts. Brock Purdy out of the jump for the 49ers, 16 of 21, incredibly efficient, 185, 2 touchdowns. He did fumble it once in a 49ers blowout win over the Bucs. And then Tua Tagovailoa, 16 to 23, 93, and a touchdown. So accurate but short, got it out quick. No big mistakes for the Dolphins in his debut. So somewhere in there, Dylan Gabriel, his final statistical analysis will be somewhere in there, and look forward to see where he stacks up against all of those guys in recent years who have either been compared to Dylan or young guys the last 2 years who have started in the league. Time now to head back across the pond to London from the podium, presented by Vivid Seats. Berkshire official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. Here's your starting quarterback, Dylan Gabriel.
You're down 8:45.
Just irregular week gone for you with the travel and the change and everything. How's it been going?
Different, for sure. I'd be a liar if I said it wasn't, but for me, there's comfort there. Being from Hawaii, there's a lot of reminiscent of when we travel as a team together, and we'd have 6 to 8 hour flights to look forward to, and just think our team prepared us for it. So we're extremely excited all together, and now that we're here, it's a lot easier to settle in.
Dylan, has Joel told you that 21 starting quarterbacks is enough for him? He'd like you to keep your job for a while.
He hasn't told me that, but Joel's a great dude, and he's just a guy you look to and is very calming. Has played a bunch of ball, so you just have a lot of confidence when you see him in the huddle.
How different has this week really been now that you guys are 48 hours out?
We try to make it as similar of a week as you can, and that's just our process, and I felt like we have for other than yesterday traveling in and maybe doing a walkthrough instead of a true practice and a jog through. But other than that, we tried to make it as similar as possible.
Miles just said that you run this offense like it's your own,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody that we've talked to over the past few days just keeps talking about your poise, your confidence. Can you sort of address how did you arrive at that point already as a rookie?
Yeah, I think there's so many similar moments in your lifetime, and although it's a different level, I think the feelings are the same, and I've gotten better each time I've felt that feeling. And for me, I've just attacked it that way. There's a lot of comfort in the scheme because, that's part of why that, got me here is I've done it before. And I think the confidence in that is now you're learning new personnel, new people, but you come together and have ultimate confidence in the whole concepts that we run.
Dylan, has there been a different interaction for you with your teammates now that you're the starter, and what has that been like for you?
Not necessarily. I think I've always challenged myself to lead without status, and I think it was a challenge early for me because it was different, a role I've probably never been in, but I think that ultimately helped me to when now you do, get the spot to roll with, you can just attack it the same way. So it challenged me in that way, but now it's probably just a little more talking in the huddle and more reps, but ultimately it'll be good on, Sunday when we get to go.
Dylan, I'm assuming you probably had hundreds of messages from people this week. Are there one or maybe a handful that have been especially meaningful to you?
Yeah, a couple. I think all the coaches that I have great relationships with, and I don't want to miss any, but, my high school coach, Coach Rod, Coach Hype from UCF, Coach Golish, who's my OC there as well, Coach Leb, Coach Stein, Coach Lanning. So all those guys, people you appreciate, and then also my family. But for the most part, too, it's something that you prepare for, and you're ready for. So it's not a text of congratulations of some sort. It's like, it's your time to go show the world.
Your folks will be here, right?
They won't be. So fun fact, need to get my dad a passport. So we're learning about that. Second, just a little later in the week. So, mom and dad, it's from Hawaii. You can imagine that flight's even further than what we just did. So,
Dylan, going back to the experience you had, your college experience, obviously college and pro are two different things. That said,
Yep.
what you've seen defensively to the various schemes, how much have you been able to kind of bring that along with you as you're adjusting to what you're seeing out of NFL defenses?
I think it's interesting because, in college, sometimes, some may say the lack of personnel, they may have to add on to the scheme and do things that are unique to help in the run game and the pass game. I think in the NFL, obviously personnel is at all-time high, so there's extreme confidence in maybe coverages that you've repped a bunch of times. But for this, I think you take pride in, as a OC or DC, in the scheme that you have, and you want to rep at a high level. Ultimately, you're going to do what your players are good at. But as you continue to go up, it's a lot about personnel and putting guys in the right place to go make their plays. So just understanding that, and then understanding as a shell what they're trying to do.
Dylan, were you able to block out? You took some really harsh criticism during training camp. And you guys always say that you block out the noise. Did you truly block all of that out, or did some of it seep in? And if so, did it actually fuel you?
For me, I've always lived by, I'd rather be uninformed than misinformed, and everyone has the right to their opinion, and I understand that. But I don't necessarily block out the noise, I just choose not to be a part of it. And I think that's just a singular focus, and emotional regulation of there's a job to do, and there's something that you just want to focus on and do it at a high level. So that's what I do. Like I said, I respect everyone's opinion, and everyone, can say whatever they want. It's freedom of speech.
When that was that training camp out with the four quarterbacks, did you think you could win this job so soon into the season in week 5?
It wasn't ever about winning a job. It was just playing at my best, playing at a high level. I think when you continually do that and you're focused on your game, that'll naturally come. And the one time you're thinking about, I got to go win something, you just overreact or overdo rather than just serving the moment, and that's what I've been about the whole time.
Throughout this week, as you've worked with Tommy Reeves and kind of stepping into this role, how has he helped you specifically? And as you guys he talked about yesterday, kind of tailoring the offense to your skill set in that sense to make you feel comfortable and acclimated. So how has he just helped you this week?
Yeah, I think just a bunch of conversations, and I think there's always a meeting prior to a meeting, and being able to have those conversations prior so you can understand what we're trying to do and do it at a high level. The more you see it, the more comfortable you are with it. And I said it last time, but the more turns you got at it, like Coach Muss says, you're just going to have a bunch of confidence, a bunch of comfort there. So just trying to do that, whether it's film, whether it's walkthroughs, whether it's walking or, looking at a play call and being able to, say the play and then go through the progression. So kind of a bit mixture of all that, but, trying to do it as best as possible.
Dylan, have you worked out how many people are going to be watching from Hawaii and kind of what time of day it's going to be?
I haven't thought that far, but I would guess early in the morning. It is interesting. I've always been used to it when I was in Florida to Hawaii, a 6-hour difference. Texting family is a little different, but I really haven't even looked into it. But it's probably double, right? 12 hours? 11, yeah.
How do you feel your preparation has been this week? Not the part about traveling and the team, but how do you feel since you were in the start of the trip preparation?
I take pride in it. I think the preparation, allows you to be confident on game day, and really not even think about schematically what you're trying to do, but it's you hear the formation, you already know the play call. And I think that's something that I've always took pride in from every level. And I just continue to master that. I've even had 4 weeks prior to this to master how we go through a week. And for me, it's how do you fit in film in between there? How do you fit in meals? And as you could imagine, everything in between. And, I just continue to master it and don't think I'll ever stop.
Can you just tell me how your first game as starter is going to be in London? Probably something that you never thought about before.
Yeah, never thought about. Obviously, never happened. So there's a first for everything. But like I learned from my first, there's, it ain't ever gonna be perfect. But the preparation is key, and go out there and do what you do. But we're grateful. We play a beautiful game, and we'll be able to do it in front of new fans. And I think that's what football's all about: the diversity, the amount of people that love this game and are around it. Like, there's beauty in that, and that's what I'm most appreciative of.
Man, you got to love him. He's smart. He's decisive. Really impressive anytime he's in front of a mic, anytime you see him in person. I think he's going to play really well on Sunday over in London. Join Andrew Z and Gerard tonight, 7 to 8, for a London Blitz, a Browns Radio Network special on University Hospital's Cleveland Browns Radio Network. The guys are going to be joined by Browns guard Joel Bitonio and the Hoff as they get you ready for Sunday in London. We'll get you ready with a little bit of overs and unders. Oh, yeah, the whole gang's back. It's coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. And add more fun to your fandom with the Bally Bet Sportsbook app. Download today. Get 50 back in bonus bets. You place your first wager of 10 or more. Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time for a little part of the show we like to call overs and unders. From across the pond, the boys. Gentlemen.
Siciliano's favorite saying.
Which one?
He loves it.
Yeah, he said he banned it.
What did he ban?
He tried banning
He
it.
tried to ban saying across the pond.
Who in the blue hell does he think he is?
He says that's right.
That's
what did he say? That's like a newscaster says that.
He's like, it's overused. It's
Okay, he's out.
said
I'm banning him. He's banned.
Don't think we can do that.
We can ban him off this show.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Ban him off this
You're
show, can't
banned.
we? I'm banning everybody.
No soup for you.
What is he so sensitive about the plight of the English?
I don't know. He doesn't like across the pond. I'm like, why not? It's fun.
Right. I swear to God, anytime I talk to him from now on, everything's going to be across the pond. You playing golfing today? Yeah, across the pond.
Yeah.
All right. Last week, we were underwater, gentlemen. 2 and 3 apiece in the over-unders. 2 and 3
Hey,
for
we
Z,
tied.
2 and 3
Ties as good as a win for me,
I
baby.
cannot believe also that you guys are deadlocked a month
Deadlocked. Yeah. To be fair, last week we missed on 2 of them by a half.
That's a good job of the
Or at least I
over-unders
did.
committee. Very good job out of the over-unders committee then.
Yes.
I'm telling you, they were dialed in.
They were locked in. Look, we got a whole team of MIT kids putting these together every week, putting the very best over and unders together, and every once in a while they get a good one. So, 11-9. You're both 11-9 as we head to the game across the pond against the Minnesota Vikings. Of course, you guys are already across the pond, so this game will be taking place across the pond. So, time for your overs and your unders. Number 1. Dylan Gabriel. Oh, yeah, I'll do that after this one. All right. We're looking for Dylan Gabriel pass attempts. And I believe Z went first last time. Do I have that right? So I think this is a Gibby goes
Feels
first.
right.
Gibby goes first. The number we are looking for on Dylan Gabriel pass attempts is 27.5. 27.5, Gibby.
It's an interesting number.
Really is.
I'm going to say over.
Over.
Same.
For Gibby. Over.
Same. Over. Yeah.
For Dr. Z.
I think that you'd love to have a 21-26, would be
Big
great.
fan of
That would be fantastic, but I think it's going to end up right around 30. I don't think we're going to be in the the 36-40 range that we've been living in. I think it'll be right around 30, 28 to 30.
So I looked this up because he gets the Brock Purdy thing a lot in terms of style of play, acumen. What Purdy does is what we would love to get out of Gabriel. Purdy's debut with the Niners was, I could be up by a couple of yards and maybe an attempt or so, but I believe it was 16-21 for 186 and 2 touchdowns. Like, I'd sign me up. They beat the Bucs 35-7 when Brady was with the Bucs in that game. Obviously, the team's very different, but in terms of what was expected, that is what is. Hopefully, we can get to see some of that out of Dylan on the high side of it. Over or under? Jordan Mason rush yards. Dr. Z. The number is 59.5.
Jordan Mason rush yards.
59 and a half.
So he is certainly well above that. That's what he averages because he's a very productive runner.
That's right.
But we don't let people run the football. No, we do not. So I'm going to say their offensive line's missing 3 guys potentially. Jahmyr Gibbs, by the way, is the only running back that would have even come close to that number. And he's no Jahmyr Gibbs. He's much more of a downhill guy like a Derrick Henry, like a Josh Jacobs. Under
for Zagura. Give it.
I'm going to be very blunt. I have read about 5 pages of notes so far in my studying.
How's that different than every other week?
It's also a good point. It's a good follow-up. It's a very good
I didn't
follow-up
hear
by
any
you.
pushback to that question.
Yeah, nope. I will say under as well.
All right, under.
We have a good run defense. It needs to show up on Sunday.
Over or under?
Whoa, puberty.
Cracked a little on that. Even NBC wouldn't have cracked like that. He's going through it. Voice is changing. All right, a little bit of a tight end competition here. Oh, baby. Harold Fannin Jr., total touches, over or under TJ Hawkinson total touches. Gibbe. You're going over. You're not going against the BG kid, are you?
I will not go against Harold Fannin Jr. His bust is already being prepared at the hall.
Oh, mama.
That's right. Over us.
So when I was going in freshman year of high school, actually, yeah, it was the freshman year. Played summer league hoop with everybody.
You hit puberty too?
And can I tell a story?
Even in London.
And I came back, and that first week of school, I sounded like Barry White.
Did you really?
And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my goodness, my voice is totally popped. I have
This is great.
unbelievable, sultry voice. I thought it was people were loving it. It was
Sure.
amazing. I was so happy. I guess I must have had a cold, but I didn't have any. The only symptom I had was turning into Barry White, and then it was gone a week later. And I totally thought it was this was going to be my new voice. Not, but there was a week there where it was. Ooh, I was riding high.
Oh, mama.
I was chesty.
Just imagine you
unfettered.
unfettered,
It was
peacocking
everybody
around.
Was really, oh yeah. Of
course they were.
It was getting a lot of attention.
Where are you going with this?
That's the story.
Fannin or
Talk
Hawkinson?
about voices changing. We're building off of a story. It's haven't you heard?
I thought.
You know GMAT. You know who GMAT is? You know who GMAT is?
Building off of a story.
You know what GMAT is? He says when you're having a conversation with somebody, they give you little on ramps, and right there was an on ramp, and I took that on ramp. So the
Did
conversation
you get a
can
date
keep
out
going.
of it?
Of course.
Oh
they
yeah,
did.
Like
I was
the
hot.
older
It was
ladies
it
like
was
that?
strong. It was a strong
Yeah, I
week
bet
for
they
me.
Of course he
Yeah,
was.
it was real good. Then it was
Then it went
wait,
away.
I'm not Barry White anymore. What's up with that?
What'd
What's up
I
with
do?
that? Harold Fannin's our leading receiver.
Mm-hmm.
The Chief has had himself a week here, by the way.
I think that this is going to be a
Shocking.
game where I think they're going to have to throw it a lot, and I also think that he's going to be the security blanket for Carson Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to try to do everything we can to make sure he can't get it down the field to Justin Jefferson or to Jordan Addison. So I think it's going to be I think Hawkinson's going to end up something 8 for 46,
I like it.
and so I'm going with T.J. Hawkinson.
All right, under.
How dare you?
Fan can have
I'm
more
going to
yards,
tell
but he
Chief
didn't
this.
say it's first of all it's just Fannin. So
Yeah.
you can tell Chief whatever you want.
It's just total touches.
It's touches.
Yep,
It's touches.
that's true. It's an important distinction.
I think Fannin.
I'm sorry,
I think
who's
it's in
been
play
lined
that
up at
Fannin,
a running back?
I think
Fannin?
Okay.
I think it's in play that Fannin outgains him.
Okay. Next, over under.
I was gonna say, I'm like, who's doing the next part?
I forgot about the next. I'm doing too many things. Too many balls in the air, gentlemen.
Yeah.
This one is for.
Confirmed.
I don't even know where we are. Is this who goes first?
This
We're
is the
back at the
fourth.
beginning, so
This'll be
this got to be Dr. Z. Dr. Z. Sacks
Yeah.
and turnovers. Over.
Over.
The number is
One.
7.5.
Come on. What's the real number? What's the real number?
5.5.
5.5.
5.5. The over-under department, the MIT kids, our stat crack, the guys who are crunching the numbers, they have noted the amount of offensive line that is out for the Minnesota Vikings.
By the way, the last 2 times we played Carson Wentz, it's gone over.
Yep. Over still?
They give 6 sacks a week and go.
Would you have taken the over at 7.5?
At 7.5?
No, but probably.
I would have over
Let's go, Gibby.
by
Over.
$1 billion.
Oh, baby.
I saw Carson Wentz suck the last time he played. I expect the same on
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah.
All right. Next! Over, under. The actual.
I got to tell you something.
Yeah.
I got to tell you something. 62 degrees here
Yep.
is freezing. I have not been this cold.
God, I got to tell you, I
in a
just got
long
off the
time.
golf course. I got a quick 9 in. It's 77, not a cloud in the
It's beautiful
sky.
there.
Of course it is.
Not a cloud in the
83 and
sky.
sunny
You
for the
did
weekend.
not get
I
off
might,
the golf
I
course.
be honest with you, I might play as soon as we're done. There might be time.
should.
I don't know if there will be time.
You
I might
should.
maybe
No,
before
there will
and
be
after.
time. Bed Bath. Then you can go to Bed Bath and Beyond
See,
if it's still
yeah,
around.
that's right.
Yeah.
The actual,
Big Thursday. Under.
the actual Gibbe, the actual over and under is 35.5.
Oh, that's moved.
35.5.
Oh!
It's dropped another 1.5.
Yep.
Jeez Louise.
I'm going over, and we're going over 20 points.
Under. It's going to be 20-0. They might score negative.
I don't even know if that's possible.
I'm telling you right now, they're trying people out to be the center. They don't even know who's going to play center. The center's hurt and the backup center hurt. They're going to have a guard who's never played center before play center in this game.
I can't wait to check in with you guys again shortly. Good job out of both of you. All right, we'll do it again shortly. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
The future of
down
and Rumpke Waste and Recycling.
I'll call momentarily.
It's over $100 million to build North America's largest, most
So, Kev, we are going. I'm going to send Stefanski podium to the share drive, and after the interview's done, Bo's going to toss to that because we've got 19 minutes here, and that's.
Browns, Vikings, Sunday in London town. Let's go behind enemy lines now and get the latest on what is happening with the Vikes. Matthew Collar joins us covering the Vikes at Purple Insider. He joins on the Twisted Tea Hotline, presented by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea, official sponsor of your Cleveland Browns. Keep it twisted, Cleveland. Matthew, thank you so much for taking the time. Let's just start with, what are the Vikings going to do up front on Sunday?
Is panic an acceptable answer? I think that might be. I mean, both of these teams have got to be looking around being like, what sort of witch doctor cursed our offensive lines? Because, the Vikings went into the season without Christian Darrisaw. Then they get him healthy, and they look like an awesome offensive line against the Cincinnati Bengals. But then after that game, their left guard, first-round pick, Donovan Jackson, who I'm sure you folks are very familiar with and has been fantastic in his first couple games, he goes out with a wrist injury. So then they put in Blake Brandel, who's kind of a veteran, has bounced around this roster a little bit from starter to backup. And, you feel pretty good about that. But then Ryan Kelly gets hurt, and then his backup, Michael Juergens, gets hurt. So now Blake Brandel, who's never played center before, he's over at center, which means Joe Huber, an undrafted free agent, has to step in at left guard. And then at right tackle, the Vikings have had one of the best right tackles in the NFL for the last, must be about 8 years now, Brian O'Neill. He gets hurt on a field goal last week. I mean, he's played 490 field goal snaps and never gotten hurt before, but then he has an MCL injury, so they will be playing backup right tackle Justin School. So that means they have all of two starters, undrafted free agent, backup tackle who spent all of the offseason at left tackle, now playing on the right side, and a center who's never snapped the ball in his career before. So that's what they're going to do. That sounds pretty good against the Browns' defensive line.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, yeah, we're in there with you. We know what that feels like. I mean, I get that entirely. So Kevin O'Connell, he's one of the best offensive minds in the game, and what he does with quarterbacks is nothing short of extraordinary. He will have a plan for this. What is your best guess on what it will be?
Well, you would think that, wouldn't you? But, there have been times, if there's one criticism, and I don't disagree with what you're saying about O'Connell being as good as it gets when it comes to managing quarterbacks, getting wide receivers open, getting his quarterbacks to understand progressions and timing and all that sort of stuff. But if there is something that's critiqued, I think, a lot by folks such as myself, it's probably the commitment to a downfield passing game, even when it's not always possible to do. And there were some examples of that last week when, you guys know the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line is filthy. And there were still times where Carson Wentz is alone in the shotgun, empty sets, dropping back and trying to convert 3rd and 11s by throwing the ball down the field, and they just couldn't block it up. And you end up getting sacked 6 times, which, some of that was also on Carson Wentz holding the ball too long. But I think Kevin O'Connell's offense is built on the idea of a vertical passing game, which becomes really difficult when you have a backup quarterback and backup offensive lineman. In the opening script, though, we did see them use a lot of quick game and shorter passes, and I do expect that as well. But how the game plays out may matter for the offensive line a lot, because if the Vikings get ahead, well, you can run Jordan Mason, you can throw some screens, you can work, TJ Hawkinson underneath. But if you're trying to play from behind with 3 backup offensive linemen, good luck with that. If Myles Garrett could just stand there and know that, you're going to pass the football, even Christian Darrisaw, who's also coming back from a major injury, I don't think that he's prepared for that, or any tackle in the NFL is prepared to sit there pass after pass after pass. Last week, Wentz dropped back 50 times. If they have to drop back 50 times, then they lose this game for sure. So it really depends. I think O'Connell's plan is going to be to try to run, play action off of it, all the things that coaches can do with the quick game to try to mitigate line issues, but that all goes out the window if they get behind.
And to your point, the 2 starts for Wentz couldn't be more different. 14-20 and a blowout win at home against Cincinnati, and then you just went over the Pittsburgh stat line with him throwing it upwards of 50 times, 46 of them, a couple of picks. You've seen Wentz play twice in a Vikings uniform. What do you expect to see from him Sunday over in London?
Yeah, it's so interesting watching Carson Wentz because, well, one, he got here about a month ago, so he's still trying to understand the offense, which kind of speaks to what we were just talking about. But when he's been able to see the defense pre-snap and understand where he's going with the football, he's been nothing short of terrific. I mean, if you watch the opening drive, it gets kind of ruined by a sack at the end, but he hits a couple of passes right on the money, right as Justin Jefferson's coming out of his break. May have been the second drive when he threw kind of a jump ball to Jordan Addison where he took the snap, one step back, then lays it up for Addison, one-on-one, perfect 20-plus yard completion. I think it's when things get muddy is when it gets difficult, and that's where you're talking about those third downs. And even against Cincinnati, there were a couple of sacks on third downs because every defense in the league is going to use deception at that point. Stunts up front, and they're not going to show their coverages. This isn't, 1991 or something where the defenses just stand there anymore and show you what they're doing. And I think if you know the offense inside and out and had been here since the very beginning of the spring, well, maybe that's something you can sort out. But when you just got here and you know the reads, but when it comes to that panic time of Myles Garrett's coming at you or a blitz or, it looks like it's going to be a single high and then it drops back to too deep or whatever. I mean, that's where you have to sort through those things lightning quick, and he's just not going to have time to do that. And that's been some of the issue. The other thing I noticed about Carson Wentz, which could be very relevant in this game, is that, I've gotten to an age where I can no longer jump up and get rim, in basketball. But I still think I should, right? So I still think I can. And I think that that's Wentz. Like, he still, early in his career was a playmaker. He would get outside the pocket. He'd get moving. He would make plays, extend plays. He simply cannot do that anymore. And yet on 5 or 6 different occasions the last 2 weeks, he has looked like me trying to jump up and get the rim. Like, I can do it. I can dunk. Nope. No, I can't. And you're sacked. And I think that instead of just, there was one play last week where TJ Watt's coming unblocked at him, just throw the ball in the dirt. And yet he tries to put on some sort of juke move. And it's like, Carson, that's not going to work. So I think that could play into Cleveland's advantage, that he still thinks he can make plays out of structure, and that's how he gets sacks. That's how he gets strip sacked. That's been a little problematic for him.
Yeah, it's going to be a race to him, right? It's going to be a race for Myles and that defensive line to get home before he can get it out, because you look at, one of the things that this defense, there are susceptible outside of Denzel Ward. Some of the cornerback play for Cleveland has not been elite. You have elite playmakers, so that could be the thing where this whole operation flips. Matthew, on the other side of it, you're getting a rookie quarterback and a Brian Flores defense, and you should be licking your chops a little bit. My hunch is that the Browns are going to try to really establish the run in a big way with Quinshon Judkins. When you've seen Flores in past years, especially, he's one of the bright minds, but when he goes up against a rookie quarterback, what will he throw at Gabriel on Sunday?
Yeah, I think that's all about not allowing Dylan Gabriel to ever know what type of coverage he's going to see or where the rushers are coming from on any passing play. Every single time he drops back, you have to sort that out after the snap, because they're going to mug up the A gaps, bring those linebackers up. Now, not having Andrew Van Ginkel is big for the deception, because he is the master of that, he lined up where and got the sack from where, things like that. So that's been a big loss for them to not have Van Ginkel or Blake Cashman, but they're still going to show. There was one play against Cincinnati where they showed 3 different pre-snap coverages before settling on one, and then Jake Browning just had no idea what to do with the football and took a sack. They love to do that. They love pre-snap communication, which I'm guessing it'll be fine over in London because it's a neutral site type of game. And they love to rush 4, but which 4 and which guys are dropping back? Sometimes Jonathan Grenard will be back in coverage, and you'll think, he's their best rusher, and yet somebody will come from somewhere else and get a pressure, making the Cleveland offensive line also sort out some of that stuff. They love stunts and twists and all that sort of stuff, the games up front. So I think that dealing with that stuff is really, really difficult for a young quarterback. And what Aaron Rodgers did to beat that was said, this ball is coming out of my hands. I'm not going to give you guys any chance to do it. And I'm curious if Cleveland saw some things that Pittsburgh was able to do in their quick pass game, because the Vikings tackling in the secondary, maybe a little suspect. if you can get the ball out to these tight ends, Harold Fannin and Njoku, I mean, if you can get the ball out to those guys and get it in their hands, they might be able to break some tackles and get yardage. So I think that's really the key for Cleveland. And as you mentioned, I mean, if the run game gets going, as it has a couple of different games against this Vikings team, Atlanta and Pittsburgh, it's a lot harder to then mess with the quarterback all the time. And I feel like sometimes I am talking about, Leroy Horde and Ernest Biner days or something, but like this is kind of how it feels, right? Is that I think for both sides, everything's got to kind of build off of that.
It feels to me, you're very astute with everything there, but it really feels to me like whichever offense can have success early will dictate how this thing goes. And certainly from the Browns' perspective, we know that it's going to be on the ground. The one advantage I think that the Vikes have in a big way, and there are several, obviously, very, very talented team, but one of them that jumps out is the fact that they've been over there. What can you tell me about the decision? Obviously, this has never happened before. What can you tell me about the decision to play in Ireland, stay over there, and then play the game in London in terms of how they handled that logistically?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of 3D chess for the Vikings, although in their version of it, they would have won last week against Pittsburgh. But, I think the biggest thing was, well, you don't have to play in Cleveland. And if the fans are still doing their thing at this point, they're never going to stop. So, I mean, that is as loud of a fan base you're going to get. I remember looking this up. Even Myles Garrett's sack rate at home versus away is different. TJ Watt's is at home versus away. So I think what the Vikings saw was two not easy places to play for a quarterback, which would be at Pittsburgh and at Cleveland. And why don't we move those over to neutral sites? And then I think it is a huge advantage potentially of being over there, being on that time zone for the entire week and just moving the operation, which is not so easy. I mean, it's none of this is ever easy for anybody, but to be able to have your entire team be on the same page with the time zone alone, to be over in London, I think is a big edge for them, and not have to, pack and unpack and everything else in the same way as if you're coming all the way over as the Cleveland Browns are. So I think when they were presented with that opportunity, most people thought, why would you want to do that? But then you start kind of picking apart. I think you're right. I think the Vikings do have an edge because of the travel.
All right, give me one key that you'll be looking for early if Minnesota is going to get out of there with the split of the AFC North. What's the key for you from Minnesota's perspective?
I think it's really stopping the run game. I mean, because they just haven't been perfect there. They traded away Harrison Phillips at the end of training camp. He was kind of their best run defender, but they felt like they had some younger guys who were ascending into that position. We've sort of only seen that in spurts so far. And if you let Dylan Gabriel, if he's throwing the ball from 2nd and 3, he's going to have a lot more success than if he's trying to throw it from 2nd and 11. So I think that's a really big factor. And I'll throw out a funny one here, but it's not. I think the special teams, the kicking, the field goals, I mean, this could be a game where these two teams are both trying a lot of long field goals. You guys have seen it.
Yeah.
The blocked field goals are going out of control, it feels like, in the NFL over these first couple of weeks. And I just think that this could be a game where both teams end up attempting 4 or 5 field goals, because I don't think either offense has an argument for being all that explosive on this day. So the weather, the conditions, the kicking, I mean, I think those people will love it, though, right? Like, that's what they always cheer in these London games, is the kicking. So maybe it'll be really exciting for them, and we'll hate it.
They do get all jacked up for it. There's no doubt. Matthew, this has been a real joy, man. You have a book called Football is a Numbers Game. What can you tell our audience about it and where to get it?
Yeah, sure. If anybody's ever wondered about those PFF grades that people like to argue about, and even we're in the news a little bit this week, I wrote a book about where PFF came from and how NFL teams actually use it. And it's kind of a crazy story. It was invented by a guy actually in England, a little tie in there to the game. And actually those grades that you see have been shaped over many years by NFL teams, how their data is used. It's really become a war of data behind the scenes in the NFL, which I wrote about, how teams hadn't really adopted an analytical approach until about 2017. And then once they did, it was an arms race, and PFF was sort of Johnny on the spot in that arms race for data. So kind of went behind the scenes with PFF, and every time I see people fighting about their grades, I'm like, does anyone want to know how this is done? Because it's it's actually an incredible process, but that doesn't mean that they always get it right. We also have to use our brains and context and everything else as well, believe it or not.
That's fantastic. Buddy, really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your time. Folks, go grab the book. It's a fascinating read. Really enjoyed it. Thanks, Matthew.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.
All right, there he goes, Matthew Collar, covering the Vikings at Purple Insider. He joined the show on the Twisted Tea Hotline, presented by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea, official sponsor of your Cleveland Browns. Keep it twisted, Cleveland. A lot of what he mentioned there, the more you talk to somebody on the other side of it, G-Man, the thing that jumps out I just think it's who gets to establish how this game's going to be played first. And if the Browns can establish the run with Quinshon Judkins and play action off of that, it will open up things for Dylan Gabriel. I don't think either one of these, as currently constructed, we have not shown the ability to go chase. Minnesota has not shown the ability to go chase the way, especially with how decimated they are up front. So to me, if Gabriel and the Browns can, especially with Judkins, get it going early and get a drive. To me, this is a classic defer, get a 3-and-out, short field, go get some points on the board. Then I think you can dictate it because nobody wants to play from behind in this game, especially if you're behind a lot. Catching up is going to be very difficult. That's the craziest thing ever. I hope people understand what Matthew said there. They are starting a center in an NFL game who has never played center.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
It really is. And I don't know if that is a product of them being over there and they couldn't get somebody. Who knows? Who knows? But that's the circumstance they're in. So they spent a week over there. They got a guard playing center, and they're going to give it their best shot. Remember Myles Garrett doing the crossover over the set? I mean, I think those type of things are in play on Sunday. I don't know how they block us up. I really don't.
Yeah, it really feels like the game's going to be won and lost in the trenches, right? Because both of our offensive lines are banged up. I mean, not sure about Conklin. Joel's been fighting that back injury all season. Obviously, we lose DeWand. I mean, and they're, like you said, they're down to their third string center, Brian O'Neill, who's got the MCL sprain. It'll be a few weeks for him. So it's going to be won and lost in the trenches. That's what it feels like.
It really will be the old term valedictorian of summer school. It's going to be which offensive line can be the best or the worst. Now, we could have some big news with Conklin. Practice Friday. Now, all of a sudden, you got Conklin, you got the interior of that offensive line intact. Okay. That now you're heading places. So I think that's something to really watch for us. That would be a massive boost if Jack came back and played in the game on Sunday and would change things dramatically on that side of things. All right.
And remember, that's the blind side for Dylan, too.
Absolutely.
In there.
Absolutely. So that would be – it's a great point out of you, Kev. That is going to be critical to this thing by the time we get to Sunday morning. Joan, Andrew, Z, and Gerard tonight, 7 to 8, a London Blitz, a Browns Radio Network special on University Hospital's Cleveland Browns Radio Network. The guys will be joined by Browns guard Joel Bitonio and the Hoff as they get you ready for Sunday in London. Coming up next, your forecast and your keys to victory. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting part of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. And welcome back into Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns High School Game of the Week, presented by Ohio Cat, showcases top matchups, rising stars across Northeast Ohio. Each week, fans vote for the game they want to see, and the winning team earns $3,000 in funding, plus spotlight coverage on the Browns' social channels. Your forecast from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London for Sunday, 2 days from now. High of 62, wind gusts going west up to 30 miles an hour, increasing cloudiness with a 5% chance of participation or precipitation. You be the judge. Real feel of 60. What's the deal? Is that a dome or does it have something over it? What do you got? What are you looking into there? Have you guys seen it?
I have no idea. I'm hoping that there's furniture in the booth by Sunday.
You're going to have furniture.
Did you hear about that?
No.
Oh, no. So the league sends me
By the way, Gibby, how would I hear about it?
No. Because
we talked about it in the studio, I want to say.
Yeah,
I think we did.
Okay.
So the league sends me a picture. Here's your booth. I said, looks beautiful. I go, there's nothing in it.
It's an empty room.
It's a carpeted with windows that don't open. There is something in the ceiling that I opened to stick antennas up that I might have to climb up on the roof of.
That I look forward to.
Do. I go, where's the tables and chairs? They're like, oh, you have to order those.
What?
Excuse me? Excuse me?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So I literally have had to work with the league to get 2 6-foot tables and 6 chairs so we can do a game.
So
what are we doing?
What are we doing? The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's like for those who haven't, it's like the old Texas Stadium and kind of like Hard Rock in Miami, where they have the thing over the fans so they don't get wet, but there's a hole in the middle.
Good.
So you guys will be good. All right, time for your keys to victory, and for that we turn it over to Dr. Z.
Well, listen. You heard what I said, or maybe you didn't. Maybe I haven't even said it yet. I don't know exactly how the sequencing is going to go. But in the event that you have heard it, I'll say it again. In the event you haven't, listen up. The Vikings are going to be down 3 offensive linemen. They're 2 guys that have been Pro Bowlers on their line, out. Their center going to be out. Their backup center, out. They are starting somebody who's never played center before there. We need to dominate, suffocate, and eliminate and completely control the line of scrimmage. I think that this defense has an opportunity in this game to completely eviscerate the running game of the Minnesota Vikings, make Carson Wentz be a drop-back passer, and if you do that, yeah, he can put up some yards, there's no doubt, but he will throw you the football. Last 2 games we have played against Carson Wentz, 5 interceptions. The Browns are 2-0. Last week, 2 interceptions. Make him throw you the football, get those turnovers, dominate the game. So I think defensively, that's number 1, dominate the game. Number 2, if there is a weakness of the defense of the Minnesota Vikings, they're the number 3 pass defense, number 7 overall defense. It's the run defense. They're in the 20s. They give 4.5 yards a carry, 130 yards a game. Feed Quinshon Judkins. Feed him. And then hopefully we can hit some shot plays off of play action if we can cover up some of these blitzes. Brian Flores is going to blitz. They do it about 40% of the time, 3rd most in the NFL. We've got to take care of the football. I mean, I stopped saying it because it was so obvious, but now that it's a new day, yes it is, with Dylan Gabriel at quarterback, we need to see if he can be the one that stops kind of that hemorrhaging of turning over the football. It's 10 of the last 11 games we've turned it over double-digit times. Or not double-digit times, turn it over multiple times. We've got to stop that. So have to take care of the football. Got to win that turnover battle. And I really think if we can get the line of scrimmage defensively and offensively in terms of being able to run the football, I really think this could be a beating. You can't lose if they don't score.
No, that's right.
And I think if we don't give them short fields from turnovers or special teams got to be better. But if we don't do that, I think they're going to have a hard time. Their line, I'm telling you, is decimated beyond belief. There are tryouts of guards, people who are not centers, guards to play center this week against Mason Graham and Malik Collins. I think if they do that, you certainly go back to that old one where you line Myles Garrett over the center and let him, pretend like he's dribbling the ball through his legs doing crossovers. Freak these guys out. I just think we have a chance. Once we know he'll throw us the ball, and I think we have a chance to really dominate that line of scrimmage. I think that's going to be so massive in this game.
All right, there you go. There are your keys to victory. On the other side of this quick timeout, we will do a little segment we like to call Do Pay Attention to the scores. You're listening to
Yeah,
Cleveland
baby.
Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
Tune in ESPN
John.
time after every game for the jaw drop.
All right, welcome back into Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. And score big with Howard Hanna, the official real estate partner of your Cleveland Browns. As Northeast Ohio's #1 real estate provider, they are dedicated to helping you make the best move. Visit howardhanna.com/GoBrowns to explore your winning options. Today, time for a little segment we like to call Pay Attention to the scores, and we encourage that you do. How did we do last week, Dr. Z?
Oh, baby. You were hot, Bo Bishop. You
Oh, it
were
all
hot through the opening stanza. You end up on the week going 11-5. But at one point you were 11-3 going into the Monday night doubleheader.
Hate to see it.
I was a much more modest, 9-7, but nobody ever went broke taking a profit. So here we go. You are now 10 games over 500. I'm 6, so combined 16 games over 500. And the only games, Tennessee and Miami and the Jets were the only 2 games that we didn't give out a winner on, that one of us did not.
One of us
give out
didn't
a
get it.
winner on.
Yeah. All right. Good job out of us so far. Hitting our stride.
Very
hitting
solid.
our stride so far.
Very
all right, Gibby.
solid.
All right, away we go, gentlemen, and we go to the 1 o'clock window. Multitasking. Here we go. There it is. There's the email. Thank you, G-Man. Vegas.
You ought to see G-Man here right now. He looks like Tony.
What's he doing?
He looks like he's laying back in like his recliner chair. He looks like Tony Soprano when he is sucking down like a quart of ice cream. Except he's got his phone. He's just looking at things, like keeping an eye on things as this is happening. It's amazing. It's everything you'd want.
I love it.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
He's holding down a lot.
That's
there
right.
Because
that's who he is.
At about 2 o'clock on Thursday afternoon here, I was like, if I don't get like a 30-minute nap in a shower, I don't think I'm going to be able to function any longer.
Yeah.
The time exchange not elite.
Tough.
Well, the plane not elite.
Well, there's that.
What
too.
is that, Gibby?
What is that?
There you go.
Yep,
You're good.
it's
You're
gone.
safe. You're safe. All right, go ahead, Gibby.
All right.
While we can.
Anything. There we go. Raiders visiting Indianapolis and the Colts. Do I have that right,
Yep.
G-Man? Is that the first one?
It is.
All right. I am looking at the correct document. Raiders, Colts on Fox. Nathan Zagura, kick us off.
Ooh, I like this hook here. I'm just not a believer in the Raiders at all. Colts should have beaten the Rams. I'm not deterred on this one. I think that the Colts, they get right, and they get right in a big way. I think that this game could end with Kenny Pickett playing quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. Colts 9,000, Raiders 3.
Yeah, I actually think the loss to the Rams was maybe one of the more impressive results for the Colts this season, because I think the Rams are really, really good, and they had them on the road. So I think the Colts are real. I think they keep that rolling, and I got them. I got same Z's as you, my friend.
Let's go.
I'll be honest, they should have sent this game to London. G-Men taking on New Orleans in the Superdome on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Andrew Catalan and Charles Davis, our boy Jason McCourty and A.J. Ross as well on the call of this one. Bo Bishop, Saints, G-Men.
So the Fighting Saints they've been frisky. They're winless, right? Giants coming off of a win, quarterback bouncing around over the Chargers, flexing quarterback, and yet I look down at this and it's not the G-Men who are favored.
They're favored.
They are not. No. It is New Orleans.
It's almost like somebody doesn't believe that they landed on the moon.
Almost like
backdoor.
Almost like I can't choose the wine in front of me, but can I not choose the wine in front of you? Give me the Saints to win by a field goal off the schneid.
Already wrote it in. Check it out. Peep it, Gibby.
Yep.
Already did. Same. Absolutely. Exactly. Nobody is going out there saying that they're going to, we're going to back Spencer Rattler and the Saints.
No. Jackson
Nobody's
Dart.
saying that.
He's the king of Manhattan. Gotham's new king.
Buzz Aldrin, liar.
I love it. Buzz just socks him.
By the way, this is an aside. So, do you know what I'm even talking about when I'm making that comment? So, Jackson Dart, there's a quote attributed to him. Who knows in today's day?
Oh no, I don't. I didn't see it. I didn't.
That he doesn't think we landed on the moon.
Oh, you got to be
kidding. Why he's talking about that, I don't understand. So I send this to my father.
Oh no.
Who's his number one fan, and my dad, who the entirety of my life we've talked about the moon landings and all of it. I was into astronomy as a kid. All of it. That's why am I wanted to call him Lance Armstrong, Neil Armstrong, and Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
Now my dad goes, so I text him, and I said, your boy, this is from ML Football, trending. New York Giants rookie quarterback Jackson Dart does not believe America landed on the moon with the Apollo 11 mission 969. Now, I need to know the whole context. I'm just sending this. I saw it.
Yeah.
Who knows, in this day and age especially.
Yep.
I said, your guy doesn't think we landed on the moon. My dad goes, I actually agree with him. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Stop it.
My whole life was a lie. What are you talking
No,
about?
you don't.
Of course he
did
agrees
not
with him.
say that.
He did.
He's an educator.
I actually agree with Dart in response to this.
What?
Oh, Pedro.
When my dad
father doing?
When my dad backs somebody, he backs them to the hilt.
Yeah.
He is.
It's
thrown
funny.
his
We see
lot in with Jackson
there's
Dart.
very little of that in our society right now either. So
Yeah,
that's
there's
interesting.
none.
It's very unique.
No. Yeah.
Very unique.
If Pedro can be tribalistic that way, they say.
Up next, it's a AFC NFC tilt. The Cowboys on the road in Jersey, taking on the New York Football Jets. Jets looking for their first win. Cowboys on the road in Zagora. That was a long one.
I don't like this one at all.
I don't either. Not crazy about it.
I don't like the. I wish the number was actually bigger, and it would make me more inclined to be on the Cowboys side of it. The Jets with Justin Fields are a little dynamic, but Dak Prescott is playing such good football. Something just tells me, though, that this game is going to be like 31-23 at the end of the game. And Jets are going to get some late frantic Fields runs and a touchdown, and now it's 31-29, and they go for two and they don't get it. Cowboys win.
That's I really like the picture you painted there. I'm going same but a little different. Justin Fields is 0 for 25 when a team scores more than 20 against him. That goes to 0 and 20. Dallas is scoring more than 20, so they're winning. And your scenario terrifies me, but the fact that it's not 3.5, I'll take it. Give me the Cowboys.
If it was 3.5 or 4 or 4.5, I would 100% be on the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's weird that it's that. I'll grant
too,
you. Yeah.
It feels like they're saying, "Come walk down that primrose path to Dallas Cowboy land. Come hold hands with Jarrah." How great was he in that Netflix special? You want to be on his side, don't you? I mean, they're making it too easy.
They are, yeah. I agree.
Even at 3, I would feel better about it.
Yeah.
Onward we go. The undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. Nance, Romo, Tracy Wolfson. They're in Philly. Philly hosting Denver. Denver, remember, played Monday night late. Now has to go across the country for a 1 o'clock tilt with the undefeated Eagles. Bo Bishop.
Well, Eagles are just doing what they have to do. They're not really interested in anything flashy. Just win, advance. They're worried about December, January. So I'm always very, very nervy around their scores. But I think this one, for some of the reasons that Gibbe said, I just don't fully believe in what Denver is offensively. I like the Eagles winning this one by a score of 24-18.
Are we being attacked by dogs?
No,
Is that what you heard?
You're good.
Or a
You're
wolf?
safe. There's no wolves. You're inside. Be an English wolfhound at best. You're fine. Irish wolfhound.
I'm not.
There's
quite
something
sure.
outside
There
this
is-
door
there
right
is-
Well,
now.
you're okay, though. You're all right.
Are we?
We're not
Really?
going to open the door. I can
You're
assure
fine.
You that.
There's no apex predators in London. You're fine.
Tell that to people Jack the Ripper met.
I'm hitting up the last place he was seen.
I feel
Eagles,
like you should
24.
sit- I
Broncos,
like you should sit in
18.
the seat. Same, but different.
Oh.
Eagles really haven't put anybody away. I like this Denver team. I like them more than most. The Eagles, there's a little bit of dissension right there. A.J. Brown's tweeting out cryptic things. They don't complete a pass. Yes, they do enough to win, and they'll do enough to win here. They'll win, but it won't be so comfortable. They're going to win by the score of 28-25. The rare 25, the Mark McGuire for the Denver Broncos.
Next up, this one also a candidate for the inmate game of the week with the G-Men and the Saints. Dolphins with no Tyreek Hill on the road visiting Carolina. I don't even know who Eric Collins is, the play-by-play guy for Fox.
I don't either.
I've never heard of him.
He's related to Todd
I hope he
Collins.
has a good call.
Eric Collins is the guy that calls the Hornets games.
Thanks, G-Man.
G-Man.
That makes now
what a
crystal
dynamite
clear.
drop in.
Now it's
You always
crystal
coming
clear.
in a big way.
He does come in a big way, that G-Man.
Yeah.
Zagura, I think this is you. Yeah.
This is
yeah.
there are a lot this week honestly, that
Stupefying.
I would be just staying away from in the real world. I actually liked what I saw from Miami a little bit in that game. I saw a team that had a little bit of fight in them. Carolina is so up and down; it's hard to just get excited about them. Dolphins go out there; they're looking good, 31-30.
Bishop.
Same, but different. I think Carolina's yo-yo. They're yo-yo, so I think this week they yo-yo back up at home. People feeling a little good about Miami, maybe unjustified. Bryce Young and the boys get a win, 22-9.
Do you think G-Man knows that song? Can't play with my yo-yo, yo.
No, he does not.
Try to play it.
I can tell you that he does.
That was
not.
a good song.
It was
Very
a
good song. Very good song.
Yeah, absolutely. Round out the 1 o'clock slate. The Houston Texans on the road visiting an injury-ravaged Baltimore Ravens football team. Bo Bishop, Ravens hosting Texans.
It's like Cooper
I don't
Rush.
know what to make of this.
Cooper Rush and
Cooper Rush.
and just band-aiding it. It's hard. I'll do the same logic I applied last week to Kansas City. Is Baltimore really going to be 1-4? Are they really going to do that? I don't think that. Somehow, some way, Derrick Henry, 27 carries, 226 yards. Somehow, some way, give me Baltimore in a gross, close game. They win though.
No way, dude. This is C.J. Stroud against Cooper Rush. I know C.J. Stroud hasn't been good, and I've been a little bit down on him, but this is Baltimore without everybody. No Matabike.
I know.
No
I know.
Roquan Smith. No Lamar Jackson. No chance. No chance. Houston gets revenge for playoff beatings at the hands of a full-strength Baltimore Ravens team, and they get the win here. And the Ravens are in trouble, Gibbe. Might be time to send a text to Simone. Texans 24, Cooper Rush 3.
Every time they lose, I text him. I go, there's another one. I don't hear back. I like it. To the 4 o'clock window we go. Titans looking for their first win of the season. On the road in Arizona. Cardinals, Titans, Zagora. This is a pretty gross game too.
I can't do it. They've got to actually cover
It's
a
a
game
big-
before I even think about
Same.
it. I can't
Same.
do it. Arizona by $1 billion.
Same.
Ram it.
Yeah, Titans are completely incompetent right now. I don't even know what they would be able to do effectively, offensively.
Is this Callahan's last game?
No.
Not yet, but
What are you going to have his dad be the interim?
Yep.
No.
Right.
No.
Next, in the 4 o'clock window, this is a nice little game. Tampa Bay on the road visiting Seattle. The frisky Seahawks hosting Tampa Bay. Bo Bishop.
I don't think they're frisky. I think they're legitimately good, and I think you're flying all the way across the country. They've been living on borrowed time in Tampa for the last few weeks.
Yes,
Bake's been great in the fourth, but he's been really average other than that, like 60% completions, threw a terrible pick last week. I think Seattle gets it done in kind of a big way. Give me the Seahawks, 463, Buccaneers 5.
Same. Seahawks, remember we did that exercise, the biggest point differentials in the league?
I do.
Seahawks are good.
They are.
They're real good.
Yep.
And this is a defense that I think is going to give Tampa Bay some problems. And Seattle's offense, I like what they're doing right now. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Who would have thought, of all the people that have come out of that school recently, that the two best would be Jackson Smith and Jigba and Emeka Ibuka? Better than Garrett Wilson, better than Marv.
Yeah, Wilson.
Better than Chris Olave.
Wilson's a little tough just because of who he's had to catch passes from. Because I think Wilson's a stud. It's interesting though, but to your point and to buttress it, at no point were either one of those guys the best receiver on their teams.
Yep.
I mean, like that's the thing that's really crazy about it. JSN had that incredible Rose Bowl performance, but other than that, he didn't have it. Not like the other guys did.
Yeah. Incredible. I like Seahawks. By the way, this is the number one uniform game potentially.
If they do it, you got to do it.
No, they are doing it.
Oh, it's done?
They're doing it. It's done.
Oh,
it's
well then, yeah.
creamsicles against the throwbacks.
That's gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
That's a good
All
job
you
out of
need
them.
now is Montel at halftime, like you
Beautiful.
did last year with
This
us.
is how we do it.
That's such a win. Good for them.
Absolutely. Next, this should have been a good game. This is not going to be a good game. Detroit City on the road in northern Kentucky to battle the Kentucky Bengals. Zagura.
They're a team that hands out beatdowns, and right now Cincinnati is dreadful. This would be one normally where I would be like, no. You got to it doesn't matter. Jamar Chase at the back door, but I don't like anything that they're doing Cincinnati-wise. And then I don't know if you guys saw Dan Campbell's post-game speech after our game.
Mm-mm.
And he was like, we won. He said, but I'm going to be real honest with you. There was a lot of basically mistakes and bad play.
Yeah.
And he's like, we overcame it, and that's great and all. But we've got to be a lot better. And I felt like it was kind of he was sticking it to him, maybe in knowing that this game where they could come in and sleepwalk would be in the offing. But I don't even think it matters if they sleepwalk for 3 quarters.
No.
Cincinnati is atrocious. Disband them. Lions by 1 billion, legitimately by 1 billion.
Same.
Rounding out the late afternoon games
We're so chalky
on
this
Sunday.
week.
Maybe we'll be in the air by this point. I would have to think we'll be in the air. The Commies on the road. This is the Fox game of the week. Commanders visiting Los Angeles and the Chargers. Chargers, Commies. Bo Bishop.
I think this is a big-time bounce back for the Chargers. Crazy loss they had in New York against the Giants last week. They're back at home. Jaden Daniels getting back in the mix for Washington. I don't think it matters. I like the Chargers. I think they're really good. That was a weird one last week. I like the Chargers big in this one.
That's my squad. I don't know. I no Terry McLaurin, right? He's still out. Is that correct?
Yeah, but as you've said on many instances, he's not a franchise receiver.
It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But it's something.
Did you go across the pond and have a different change?
He's
across the pond and it all changed his appearance.
I'm sticking with what I thought. I like Jaden Daniels in a dome. I think that they're going to be able to keep it close. I think it's very likely the Chargers win. Maybe Cameron Dicker, when they're trailing 27-26, puts one through the uprights and it's 29-27. Chargers.
Same, but different.
Same but different.
You guys have been different on a few here.
Yeah.
Not too many
today. 3 or 4.
Washington and the Chargers, Denver, Philly, Jets, Dallas, Houston, Baltimore. So 4.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah. To the final game in the Sunday window, Sunday night foosball. Patriots on the road taking on Bills Mafia. Buffalo hosting New England on Sunday night. Zagora.
I think New England's good. I think Drake May's good.
Going to find out.
I really do. I think Braves, this is a spot where Braves' Tennessee teams would always find a way to keep this one close. I like that you get that hook on the backside of it. I think Buffalo wins the game, and I don't even know if it's necessarily in doubt, although I do think it might be a one-possession game the whole way. And Buffalo's going to end up winning this one 35-28.
You see a very similar game. I really wish I didn't have to deal with a hook on this. I wish it was just 7.
Pure.
But I do think Buffalo wins by 10. But I see the game going exactly the way you do, and I don't think it'll ever be in doubt. It'll be really competitive, just maybe by a little bit more than one score on that one. All right, us, of course, in London against the Vikings. Gibbe, when do the folks need to start tuning in?
We'll be on the air with Browns Game Day, 6:30 a.m. Ken Carman and Gerard Cherry across the pond. At 7:30, it is the Cleveland Browns kickoff show with Andy Baskin, Tyvis Powell, and Ken Carman. And then at 9:20 a.m., we take it live in the booth. Andrew Siciliano, Nathan Zagura, Gerard Cherry, Browns, Vikings from London.
From across the pond.
Hey,
we're winning.
Yes, we're winning. 20 to -3. Yes, I'm serious. Yes, we are winning this game.
20
we are
to
winning this game.
-3.
We're winning this game. They will not score.
By the way, Buckeyes back in action Saturday night. Now I pull it up on my phone.
Yeah.
and it's updated because of where we are, and it's like 12:30 in the morning. I go, I don't think that's correct.
That's probably not
However,
right.
I know they've been playing games this late.
Yeah. By the way, I also want to tell everybody you're welcome for the Thursday night winner we've already given you.
We've already given it to you, so you're welcome. I hope you enjoy
welcome
that.
for that.
Just it's nice to always
That's
start
right.
the week 1-0. That's very nice.
It is.
Minnesota at Ohio State Saturday night.
Always be careful with the scores. I mean, Buckeyes will be fine, but always be careful with the scores on them because he's not trying to win the Super Bowl every Saturday. He's just trying to get through healthy. So the scores could be interesting. My hunch is they'll be fine, but he's not going to bury anybody. He's not in the mood. They only had 6 possessions last week at Washington, so I think they'll keep it. That's just kind of the way he's going about his business. A little bit like the Eagles. So
Fine.
all right,
Love it.
boys.
Love it.
I know you've done it.
Love
I mean,
seeing you in person on Monday.
oh baby,
By the way,
just think what you guys have already done in 48 hours. I mean, you went duck hunting. You've gone
So
golfing. You've had a 5-star meal at the Fat Duck. I mean, who's stopping you guys?
I want to go hang out with the
Ducks.
Tom Hardy from Mobland. That's what I want to go find.
You can find him.
yeah.
He's with the Peaky
I bet I
Blinders.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Safe travels home. Enjoy the call, and look forward to reconnecting with you guys on Monday.
Joe Thomas in studio. He's flying home with us Sunday night.
What a time to be alive. There you go. It'll be the Joe Thomas in-studio experience. You have that to look forward to, which is nice. Hopefully talking about a Browns win. Thanks for listening, everybody. That was Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
You've been listening to
You're down, Gabe. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you in a week, all right?
and 850 ESPN
Sounds good. Thank you, Kev.
Cleveland.